Hey everyone, it's September 5th and here's your math homework review. You are doing some more work with ratios and you're trying to determine whether two ratios are equivalent. I'm going to show you two different ways to determine whether ratios are equivalent. You pick the way that's easiest for your brain to figure it out. So I think number one says something about they paid $3 for six, I don't know, was it pieces of bread or fish or pizzas, but the numbers coincide with what your number one is in your book. It also says they also paid $9 for 24 fish or pizzas or pieces of bread, whatever. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the numbers that they've given you and you're going to put them in ratios or fractions. Remember, when I say ratio, you think fractions. Ratio, fractions. Ratio, fractions. Okay, so let's turn those into fractions. 3 for 6. And I had 9 for 24, okay? Here's one method you could use to figure out if these are equivalent. You can ask yourself, as we've been asking, how did I get from this number to that number? So let's look at the numerators. How did I get from 3 to 9? Remember, there's only 4 math operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And when we're talking about ratios, we narrow it down to multiplication and division. Because my number is getting bigger, it has to be multiplying. So what did I multiply 3 by to get to 9? You should have said 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I need to go down and work on the bottom, and I'm going to ask myself, to get from 6 to 24, is 6 times 3 24? It's not. 6 times 3 is 18. It's not 24. So these two are not equal. If they're going to be equal or equivalent ratios or equal or equivalent fractions, I have to be able to do the same thing to the top that I do to the bottom. In this case, I could not. They are not equal. Let me show you a second way to figure this out. I'm going to use the same numbers. I'll write it in purple so you can see the difference. So I have 3 for 6, and I had 9 for 24. All right? Another method to figure out whether these are equivalent or not is to make some butterfly wings. So I'm going to, let's do this in another color so you can see the difference. I'm going to make a butterfly wing here diagonally with 6 and 9, and I'm going to make a butterfly wing here with 3 and 24. Those butterfly wings cross like this, and the multiplication sign crosses like this. So I multiply. I'm going to multiply the numbers that are in the same wing. So I'm multiplying 6 times 9, and I'm also multiplying 3 times 24. All right? 6 times 9 is 54. So 6 times 9 is 54. Okay. 3 times 24. That might be a little more difficult for you to figure out. You may work it out on a piece of paper if you can't do it in your head. You may also use your calculator. So if you need to, get out a calculator. I'll help you out here. 3 times 24 is, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 72. Okay? When you grow up, maybe you'll be that good at math. Okay, so I'm going to look at these two numbers, 54 and 72. If those are the same number, my ratios are equivalent. If they are not the same number, it's not. So you can see 54 is not the same as 72. These ratios, these fractions, are not equivalent. Let's do another example. I'm going to make a separate video to show you the second example. This should be number 2 on your homework.